Hello and welcome here. In this video, I am going to be sharing ways in which we can use YouTube as a media platform or as a new media platform to reach more people and other people for Christ. So shortly, I would, if you're watching this video, then you know that there are 6 other mountains. A lot of resources will be in the description box to help you understand better other mountains and the mountain of media. But the focus of this video is how YouTube as a platform or as a media platform can be used on this mountain. So forgive me, I'll be looking down a bit because I have some figures and facts I would like to share with you. First of all, media, or the word medium, means a way of reaching people. And as you know, these 7 mountains are significant strongholds, permit me to use that word, in which other people can be reached. That these are things that build the belief system of people, the way people think, the way people see life. So media for a long time has been a way in which people define themselves, define their environment, define what is happening to them. And the media is everywhere, from television to radio, newspapers to Instagram and all other social media platforms. So this is to tell you that the media is in our face, is in everybody's face. And these things we see are subtle ways of informing our belief system, informing what we do, what we think, how we see other people, how we see God, what we think of God, how we see the principles of the kingdom and all other good stuff. So that is that, and that is why this mountain or this particular video is important. So first, why YouTube? Because there are other new media platforms. We have podcasts, we have websites and etc. But why YouTube? I will be sharing some stats about YouTube. First, YouTube is still bigger than all other social media platforms and every website too, except Google. So this tells us that after Google, YouTube is the next search engine and social media platform. This is to tell you that YouTube has a lot of people here and you are trying to reach people. So this is a place where you can reach people. That's one. 2 is YouTube has 2 billion locked in monthly users and the figure keeps increasing. 2 billion per month is a huge number. Thirdly, only 33% of popular YouTube videos are in English. Now, let me explain this. This is to say that YouTube permits about 80 different languages in 91 different locations or countries. That's to tell you that whatever language you know, you understand, you can speak, is a way to reach people on YouTube. So let me just move to the second to the last one. And that is, each visitor spends 11 minutes and 24 seconds per day on YouTube on average. This is according to Alexa, and this is against the 2019 stat that says that each viewer on the average spends 8 minutes and 41 seconds. This tells us that the average person is spending more time on YouTube. Now, for the last fact is, over 70% of YouTube views are on mobiles. Now, let me just summarize all these stats. This is to tell you that people don't have to have PCs. People don't have to have, people have phones. Majority of, 4 out of 5 people have phones. So those are people you want to reach. Whatever language you know is here on YouTube, and there's an audience for that language. Sorry if I'm boring you with these stats. I just need you to know that YouTube is a big thing. It's a big thing. So now let's get to the business of the day. You want to be on YouTube, or you want to have a YouTube channel to reach people for Christ. The first thing you need to do is to open the channel. So I'm going to leave a link that will help you navigate opening your channel, understanding what to do, all the behind the scenes thing. And I'll also leave a link to a YouTube channel checklist to help you open your own channel. So I'll just go straight to the things you need to do. as a, if you decide that you want YouTube to be your pupils, you want YouTube to be your access to people, the first thing you need to do is open the channel. Now the second thing you will have to do is know your audience. So everybody cannot be your audience on YouTube. Now you can actually be talking to everybody generally, but if God is giving you a specific group of people to focus on, that's great. If for instance, if you're to focus on teenagers, college students, if you're to focus on women, on men, that's an audience. So you need to know who you are creating your video for. Second, you need to know what area of those people's lives do you want to focus on. For instance, if you're treating college students, you might want to focus on life after college, or life in college, or you might want to focus on spiritual growth, which is the base of why the channel is open. Yes, but I'm just saying that getting a more narrowed niche would help, but that is not compulsory. Thirdly, will be to create your content strategy. How many times do you want to post in a week, in a month? What number of videos do you want to put out? How often do you want to post? And all that good stuff. You need to have a strategy. You just don't want to post when you feel like posting. You just don't want to drop a content when you feel like dropping it, right? You need to have a strategy so that your audience can know when to expect a video from you. That means, like, for instance, another way you can, get your audience to anticipate your videos is to have a series. So if you're running a series, they already know that, okay, so we're waiting for part 2, part 3, part 7 of this series, and they would obviously look forward to that. Still on the third point, it is not enough to just have a strategy. You have to stick to it. Now, it doesn't have to be rigid. You can decide to change some things, tweak some things every now and then. That's completely fine. But I'm saying, when you have a strategy, you want to at least test it and see how far it can take you. Now, the fourth point is something a lot of people think is a big deal, and that is equipment. Now, because YouTube deals with video, you need to look right, look good. You need to at least, it's visuals and audio. So your audience needs to see you, they need to hear you. So to make all these happen, that means you need a camera, and that can be a phone camera. Also, you need good audio. If the phone you're using has good audio, or you can get an external microphone, that is completely fine. Just make sure that the audio is good enough for the audience. Remember, you don't want to do something that is just there. You want to be as excellent as possible. The third thing under number 4 is your lighting. You want to make sure that people see you. You're not just talking, they see you. It's not blurry, it's not everywhere. You want to make sure that your audience are seeing whatever it is you're doing, or even if you're just talking, right? You can see me, yes. So if you want to invest in getting artificial light, that's completely fine. If you can't do that yet, you can make use of natural light, which is fantastic. The fourth thing under number 4 is a tripod. Now, if you can't get a tripod, you need to just make sure that your phone or your camera is on something steady, so when you're recording your video, it's not all over the place. Number 5 would be that you should create content in advance. Right, I would say that before you start the channel at all, you have at least 20 video ideas written down. And of course, you should let the Holy Spirit direct you in what videos to film, what videos to write down, and what videos to develop, right? So you want to have at least 20 video ideas, then have at least 5 of them filmed. So when you drop your first video, you're not under tension. You're not trying to figure out, oh, what other video do I not post? You already know what you want to do. So all you have to do is put in more time in developing other ideas. Our number 6 is quite interesting, but not a lot of people consider it important, and that is editing your videos. You need to make sure that your videos are edited, cut out places where you made mistakes, lay a song, insert text where you can, and just make it look good. You don't have to over edit and you don't have to under edit, right? So I would quickly just recommend about 4 apps that can help you. Now these apps are for mobile phones. So these apps are, you want to get an app like, let's say, Power Director, you want to get CapCut, you want to get InShot. These apps, you want to get KineMaster if you are fine with editing on your mobile app. Now if you're fine, if you want to edit with your laptop, I recommend iMovie, Premiere Pro and the likes. Now depending on what gadgets you're using, there is like a well of softwares you can get to make this happen. So that is number 6, and that is to say that editing your video is important. This gives you a level of excellence. You see, if you're doing something for God, you want to bring in the excellency of God. You don't want to do just anything, or you don't want to put out just any video on YouTube, because there are a ton of videos, right? Good. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is promote your videos. Now another stat I didn't mention while saying the stats for YouTube is that per hour, an average of 500 hours of content is being released on YouTube. That's to tell you that YouTube has a lot of content. So if your video will be seen, if your content will be seen, you need to do a lot of things. You need to promote the video, send a link to your community, send it to probably the people you have in a mentoring group or your friends. Also, you would have to make sure the video is searchable. You need to do something called search engine optimization and all that good stuff. Like I said, there is a well of links, resources in the description box. So I plead that you dig in. You'd find them very, very, very helpful. And yeah, so this channel is the media mountain of influence. If you're watching this point, I am sure you've been able to pick 1 or 2 things to help you get started on this mountain. Do not forget, check out links in the description box on how to start your channel, your checklist, and other resources that will be of great help to you. And that will be all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.